So quick to pick up a gun. You're scared to take an ass whipping. This one makes you a man. When I was growing up, this was all the protection we needed. You win some, you lose some, but you live. You live to fight another day.
Analytic Dreamz video on Spotify to see the video along with the audio, because right now I have the official document up on your screens as far as the actual withdrawal from Frozen Moments LLC, the company that's representing Drake, of course, and them pulling back their petitions that they filed back in November 2024. Essentially, I think through November, December, and then mid-January, they figured out that we have to live to fight another day. Whenever you put out a freestyle and the producer of that freestyle, Conductor, puts out that actual song on his YouTube channel, and then guess who it gets copywritten by? UMG. So now the ultimate realization that you just sued a major conglomerate that's helped your career for decades. So you can't release anything. If you're suing us, you're not going to be able to release anything. Not a freestyle, not a, well, I guess he could put out an audiobook, but you get the point, right? There's nothing that Drake could release music-wise because he's contractually under UMG. So he is suing UMG. So now they're taking down anything and everything that has to do with new Drake music, which is why just yesterday, January 14th, 2025, we've received an update on Drake and his team coming to his senses as they have withdrew all petitions. Well, not all of them. We're going to get to that in a second. They've withdrew the order to show cause seeking pre-action disclosure, and basically the voluntary discontinuance of the special proceeding with no cost to any party. Now, this is the important part in this entire document, because the entire document is basically 3 pages long. So as far as you have, it's really nothing on the third page, and then you have the second page, and then you have the first page, right? There's not too much on the second and third page besides like the actual date and the signatures and the attorney details. And on the third page, they basically have a service of notice to UMG Recordings and to Spotify USA Incorporation's attorney. So with that, this is the most interesting part of the whole withdrawal, right? UMG reserved its position on the matter, but Spotify has no objection to the withdrawal and discontinuance. So now technically, and this is another important fact, the confirmation of them meeting, like basically the parties involved, there was it was confirmed that they met, right? So now when you come to this voluntary discontinuance with no cost to any party, one could assume that you basically came to a behind closed doors agreement to take away these petitions. Now, that brings me to my next point, because everybody in the mom was screaming to the high heavens. And keep in mind, Drake is my favorite artist. So whenever I'm saying these things, it does not bring joy to my heart, but you have to keep it 8 more than 92. What's going on right now as far as Drake being positioned as the champion for independent artists and artists who get screwed over their 360 deals to major labels that they could never recoup on the advancement, right? People thought that Drake was going to spearhead that movement, when in all actuality, he was looking out for his own fettuccine, his own Alfredo, his own guala. Basically, I'm talking about money. So to compare it to another situation that would put it more in layman's terms, this situation is like if LeBron sued the NBA for letting KD join the Warriors. Everybody would have came out in this situation, like comparing the two. This would be the same as if everybody came out and said that LeBron was spearheading the movement for ending super teams, right? When in all actuality, because he supposedly lost out on rings because KD joined in the Warriors, now you just look like you're bitter and upset that you lost. That is the same situation with Drake versus UMG. Drake, Kendrick are both under UMG. Kendrick ended up defeating Drake in a rap battle, mind you. Wasn't anything malicious as far as before the rap battle, because if you don't know, when Not Like Us came out, the bars that Kendrick sent towards Drake's way was really lighthearted. If Drake would have just let that go, because if you realize that The deluxe edition for All the Dogs came out November 17, 2023, and that had Red Button on it, which basically lets you know that is when Drake and UMG were beefing. So now, when that happens, and then the overall 100 gigs for your head top comes out August 9, 2024, which makes it all come to a head because he's basically releasing free documentary footage to the public, right? To his fans, and Lord knows how much UMG could have made off of that footage, right? So the tide is back. So November 17th, 2023, Red Button came out on the deluxe edition for All the Dogs. When it comes to Kendrick and his bars towards Drake, it was very lighthearted. I mean, we really have to start looking at the totality of this Kendrick versus Drake debacle. This man started off by saying, I have a K with all these nines, he gonna see Pet Cemetery. We really have to compare that to what we have in today's age as certified lover boy, certified. I think Kendrick didn't want to take it there, but obviously, like he said in Euphoria, he had to because Drake kept telling lies. Don't tell lies about me and I won't tell truths about you, which, you know, technically is twofold because he was still lying about at this point in time, it's seemingly it's showcasing that he had no evidence for the PDF allegations and the daughter. Where's the daughter? Throughout this whole time, I still want to know where the daughter's at. Kendrick's been talking about this imaginary daughter, making up characters like he's the second coming of Stan Lee, and nobody calls him out on it. Anyways, all right, my fault. Like I told y'all, Drake's my favorite artist. I just be trying to keep it 8 more than 92. You know what I'm saying? All right, back to the petition, because I totally forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah, so basically, when a Not Like Us verse came out, if you're in the middle of negotiation from UMG, you're trying to get an extension, why would you enter a rap battle with Kendrick when the bars towards you wasn't even that serious? You could have easily came out and had a interview like you had like when Control came out and basically just de-escalated. You could have de-escalate the situation, right? Similar to how when Control came out, Kendrick basically said it wasn't that serious, it was just rap. Now you get into full-fledged rap beef where the PDF, the imaginary daughter, all type of stuff is just coming out on you to the point where now you've lost the battle so bad. It's been unprecedented the way that we've seen somebody just get drugged through the mud as far as lyrically. Now you're suing the same label that y'all both are under because guess what? You're saying that they helped him beat you in a rap battle when no, my brother, you just lost. And like the iconic scene from Friday, you win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day. Because you brought this upon yourself and now you want to sue UMG. Now you want to take back the petition. But guess what? If you look at page 1 of the document, UMG has reserved its position on the matter. They don't know if they want to forgive you or not. At this point, the ball is in their court. Should they forgive you or should they not? I mean, let's just look at the charts right now. UMG has 58% of the entire music market share. So let me say this again. UMG has 58% of the entire music market share. Y'all want to know who's under UMG currently just running the charts right now? Currently, the most popular album in the world is Lil Baby's Wham. I know, very unprecedented because he beat out Bad Bunny for his first week sales. But somehow, Lil Baby is putting up monumental numbers. But anyways, Lil Baby's on the UMG, right? SZA's on the Sony. Kendrick's on the UMG. Sabrina Carpenter's on the UMG. The entire Wicked soundtrack that's like going crazy in the movie theaters and on DSPs because of Ariana Grande. Like she's like Pee Wee Kirkland right now as far as actor and musician. She's really running up the numbers on both. So anyways, that entire project is on the UMG, right? Billie Eilish under UMG, Morgan Wallen under UMG. I'm talking about some of the biggest acts in the world. Taylor Swift, like y'all don't need me to let y'all know that UMG. I'm not going to say they don't need Drake, but for Drake to act out the way that he is when there's other artists that they could easily replicate his numbers with. Like, obviously, there's no rapper you could replicate Drake's numbers with. But as far as a Billie Eilish, as far as a Taylor Swift, a Sabrina Carpenter, like, you get enough of those, you may just forget the whole rap genre. Because now they're bringing in billions of dollars. Meanwhile, somebody's throwing the fit because he lost a rap battle. So it's very apparent when I start to cover the entire music industry that this is just a very angry man right now. What do they say in Canada? This is just an angry youth. Because currently UMG like I keep saying, because this is the most important part of the whole entire document, UMG has reserved its position on the matter, which is basically letting Drake know that we hold all the cards, and guess what? We don't know if we want to forgive you just yet. I do believe they'll probably end up forgiving Drake, because Drake's still a pivotal player for UMG. I mean, he's one of the most streamed musicians in the world. But like I just went over the numbers, a lot of the albums in the top 10 most consumed in the world, majority of them are under UMG. So they don't have to find another Drake. They could find 2 to 3 Sabrina Carpenters and make that one Drake. So, yeah, he's in a tough position. But anyways, there's some other things that, and I've already covered this in detail as far as the entire document. If you want to, because this was probably one of my more standout segments. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like a lawyer when I dove into these documents. So if you look up Drake crashes out Analytic Dreamz, it should pop up. But basically the full title is Drake crashes out and sues UMG and Spotify over Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. And that, I mean, it's at like 30,000 right now as far as views. So, you know, people really enjoy it. And I do try to have actual like evidence while I'm talking about these things, which is why I basically taught myself how to pull up these documents, like, because there's ways you could do it that I don't think a lot of people are aware of. So yeah, that's why I had to pull up the actual full document for y'all to see. So even though there's not too much on page 2, on page 3, as you can see right here, like page 3, like I said, like it just has the dates and stuff as far as who's the notice for. And then of course page 2 has the dates again with signatures and attorney details for petitioner. And then of course page 1 is where all the meat and potatoes are technically. Let me see if I can zoom in, because I think I can see that. Yeah, I don't want to zoom in too much because then y'all can't see like majority of it. So anyways, y'all see the petition. It's really not too much to get into. I mean, Drake showed his hand and crashing out, and now he's trying to take it back, which brings me to the ultimate point that you win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day. Now, I have another point, because Drake currently does have one of the most played albums in the world. Y'all want to know what that album is? This is how you know I follow the music industry, because these type of tidbits you will only know if you follow the music industry closely. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to memory lane. November 15th, 2011, Take Care came out. One of Drake's greatest albums of all time, right? That album is currently the 46th most played album in the world. But technically, it's Drake's most played album as of right now. Now, why is that interesting? Because if you know anything about Drake's overall deal with UMG, you realize that his deal, as far as him owning majority of the royalties and masters, started in 2016 with Views, when OVO Sound / Republic Records was the prominent owner of the royalties, right? The reason why that's so significant, because it's almost like UMG is letting Drake know, we made you. So we're going to make the album that we own majority of the royalties to the most popular album for you currently. So on DSPs, no, it's just in general, Take Care is Drake's most played album as of right now. And that was back when Drake was signed through Young Money Entertainment, Cash Money Records, and y'all need Pusha T to tell you again how that was signed to 1 man, signed to 3 men, to sign to 4. That's bad luck, or whatever that line was. That basically applied to Drake back in 2010. And that was the same type of deal that he had for Take Care as far as the Thank Me Later type of distribution. So why would an album that Drake holds less of the royalties and masters for would be the most popular album at this time? It's almost like UMG is letting him know, we dictate how this game goes, and forever and always, y'all need to know that. So yeah, you can, I mean, basically, if you look at the bottom of any album, it would tell you. So as far as Thank Me Later, Young Money Entertainment, Cash Money Records, and Universal Motown, like, goodness, how many people can own a slice of the pie? Like, is there that, how many slices? You know how Mos Def said, how many SKUs? Like, how many slices? Young Money Entertainment, Cash Money Records, Universal Motown, I mean, goodness, and they were all under UMG. So anyways, that was the same type of distribution model for Take Care. And then Nothing Was the Same. The list got a little bit shorter because Drake's starting to boss up, right? So 2013, Nothing Was the Same. It was released under Young Money, Cash Money, and Republic. So now they cut out Motown specifically, right? Now let's get to 2016. Now Drake has fully transformed into his Super Saiyan saga. Sorry, I don't watch anime like that, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? 2016 views, OVO Sound / Republic Records, and it's been like that up until today. So very interesting how UMG is just playing with Drake in front of his face, not letting you release freestyles, mind you, through your producer conductor. They took that down off of his official YouTube channel. Now they're looking at you and they're like, hey, guess what? We about to play with you a little more. No Diddy. Well, actually, I don't know. But they made Take Care the most popular album from Drake in today's age. Why is that even possible? When obviously Take Care, it's a great album. But when you think about it, how ironic and how much of a coinky dink that the album that Drake holds less of the shares and less of the royalties and masters for is the most popular in today's age shortly after, because it used to be, For All the Dogs used to be on this list as far as his most popular album, which obviously is under majority owned by him with OVO Sound / Republic Records. But now, shortly after your petition to sue and basically bite the hand that feeds you, now is reversed to now Take Care is the most popular album that's consumed right now, and you own less than like 20% of the overall masters and royalties too. So very interesting. There was something else I wanted to get into, but I think that may have been it. Oh, Not Like Us obviously is up for 5 Grammy nominations. Y'all don't need me to tell you that Kendrick has the opportunity to do one of the funniest things ever. As if you look up 2025 Grammy Award Analytic Dreamz, basically I talked about how the only rap song to ever win Song of the Year was technically a Drake diss. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Childish Gambino said that This Is America started out as a Drake diss, and that's the only. We've had Jay-Z, Kanye, 50 Cent. Eminem, out of all people, you would have thought he would have won like Record of the Year at some point. Basically, all of these iconic rappers. And This Is America was the first hip hop song to win Record of the Year. And Childish Gambino came out and said it started as a Drake diss. Well, guess what? Guess what is also nominated for Record of the Year? Yes, I swear, you can't even make this stuff up. Hold on, let me see if I can bring this up. Because as far as the Grammys, they know exactly what they are doing. They was tired of that speech when Drake was talking about how you don't need a Grammy and people showing up to your shows is real validation, which I definitely agree with that. But they didn't want to hear none of that. So if you ever look up that speech, really they was playing music throughout his entire artist. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Okay, so album, record, Beyonce. This is a very incohesive list. Let's try to find something that's an actual website. Let me see. Billboard. You gotta love when Billboard put stuff behind a paywall. So this is what we're gonna do right quick. Type this in. Let me see. Copy this link. Don't try this at home, kids. Even though I'm not showing you, because I don't want you to try it at home. We're gonna put this right here. And guess what? Now we're past the paywall. Oh, you gotta love it. So anyways, here we go. So Record of the Year, right? Y'all let me know what this is right here. Let me see if I can find this. What does this say? Oh, let me make this bigger so y'all can see the full category. That was kind of too big. Pause. Let me see. Here we go. Record of the Year category. And then I wonder what track that is that I just highlighted. I think that's Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. Who would have thunk that another Drake diss would be up for Record of the Year? So that's what I'm saying. That Grammys have an opportunity to do something that's very hilarious as far as having 2 hip hop tracks winning Record of the Year. That's basically a Drake diss track. So with that being said, Drake should probably realize that he's made a lot of powerful enemies, and suing and biting the hand that feeds you and basically trying to sue your way out of them opening up that can, as they said on Peekaboo, right? Because after getting drugged through the mud like you did lyrically, I just think that you going away and then coming back with fire music, that would have been the best path of that would have been the best action as far as a marketing strategy. But now you crashed out. You sued your major label, and not only that, but you announced a tour, and guess when the tour starts? I swear you can't make this stuff up. The tour starts February 4th. Now I just want y'all to look up something right quick, because what else happens February 4th? I really can't put a finger on it. I don't know what else happened on February 4th. So Drake announced that he's going on tour, and it begins February 4th, right? And one of the dates is February 9th. Now, the Super Bowl is set to be in New Orleans, Louisiana on February 9th, 2025. I swear you can't make this stuff up. Drake, honestly, is doing things in spite of Kendrick, and I think that's making his moves a lot more transparent than they otherwise would have been. If he would have sued UMG before the Kendrick fiasco, people, or as far as him speaking up for the independent content creators and the musicians who were screwed in their music deal, it would hold a lot more credence. But because it came after the fact of him getting verbally mutilated by Kendrick Lamar, it just holds a lot more, it's just a lot less credibility that you could put on his actual intentions. It seems very self-serving, and basically it's all about him when he doesn't get his way. It's definitely like an angry child that's not getting his way, that's been getting his way for the past like 10 to 20 years. So that's basically it. I mean, I do believe Drake, this is another thing. I'm glad I kept this to the end. So Drake's gonna release an album in like a week or two. When that album comes out, just realize the amount of marketing strategies that are lacking, and ultimately tie this into Drake withdrawing this petition, because even though that Spotify basically they said that they have no objection to the withdrawal and the discontinuance, meaning that they will let it go through, right? UMG, on the other hand, has reserved its position on the matter. So that ultimately tells me that Drake could have made behind the scenes deal with Spotify, but as far as UMG and specifically iHeart, because the second petition, as far as alleging that UMG funneled payments to iHeartRadio to promote Kendrick Lamar's song and accuse UMG of defamation for releasing the track, that has not went away. That has not been withdrawn. The second petition, as far as what I just named, right, that remains active. So he is still actively suing. Don't get it twisted. He's still actively suing. He just wanted to stop the first lawsuit because now Spotify agreed to take away the first petition. So now he could put out music. So whenever he puts out music, people are going to be able to find it, right? It's not going to be it's not going to be blacklisted, supposedly. So anyways, with that being said, that's basically all I had. I think was that it? That was basically it. So at the end of the day, November, December, and mid-January, that's all it took.
You think you're a man with that gun in your hand, don't you?
That's all it took.
I'm a man without it. Put the gun down.
That's UMG talking to Drake right now. Put the gun down. Like, hey, what you doing? What you doing suing us?
Put up your dukes.
So that's ultimately what Drake and UMG is doing right now. Because best believe this back and forth between UMG has only started as far as what can end up happening for the detriment of Drake's career. So with that being said, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Drake filing his petition to take away the first, basically filing to take away the first petition back in November 2024? And ultimately, what do y'all think about the second petition still being active as far as him suing? So he's still suing UMG, funneling payments to iHeartRadio for Kendrick Lamar's song. So he's still suing Kendrick. I don't want that to get lost in translation. Hopefully I said that enough throughout this segment. But he's still suing Kendrick. So click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about the overall document as far as Drake and Frozen Moments LLC withdrawing the order to show cause and seeking pre-action disclosure? And ultimately, what is your biggest takeaway from this whole Drake and his ultimate debacle?